On the subject of consumer protection, another 2011 success to be celebrated is the expansion of our Renomark brand into 7 provinces and 32 markets across Canada. BILD's Renomark renovators are held to a higher standard and word is spreading. As always, our Renomark renovators will be manning the BILD Destination Renovation booth at this year's National Home Show. And I'm sure that they will be in high demand since attendance numbers are expected to be off the charts, especially with Canada Blooms running at the same time in the same location down at the X. Another big success to be celebrated is the astonishing new home sales totals for 2011. The record-breaking sales numbers were released at a press conference hosted by BILD and RealNet Canada, our official source of new home intelligence, just a few weeks ago. So here it is, in case you haven't read about them. More than 45,000 new homes were sold in the GTA in 2011. Of those, 28,000 were new condo units, setting a record for high-rise, and demonstrating a fundamental shift in today's new home purchasing decisions. To give you a historical perspective, in the year 2000, high-rise sales represented 25% of the market share. Last year, high-rise sales represented over 62% of the new home sales market share. What we are witnessing here is a shift towards higher density housing as more new home purchasers seek, and sometimes have no choice, but to find the most affordable homes to match their lifestyle. With this news we are celebrating, we also have to be careful not to take our success for granted. A large part of why sales numbers are high is because the industry is changing and adapting as the regulatory environment and our consumers' needs change. And it's our job to deliver high-quality, well-designed homes. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the sales numbers and how they spell out for the low-rise sector, where supply is down 73% from 10 years ago. We all have heard this. According to RealNet, the active supply of available low-rise lots is at a record low of only 4 months of inventory. We need our government partners to work with us in providing a full range of affordable housing options for new home buyers. I know that some of our government partners are here in the room tonight, and thank you and kudos for being here. Welcome, by the way. And I want to thank all of you on behalf of BILD members for coming tonight and for continuing to partner with us to bring a full range of housing options to future homeowners in your communities. Just as an aside, we just learned tonight that a representative from the City of Toronto, representing Mayor Rob Ford, Earl Provost, just brought us a letter, and I'll just want to show you because we need to celebrate when BILD as an industry association and government get together and we are recognized. So this is a recognition for our collaboration with the City of Toronto, and I'd like to thank Mayor Rob Ford and Earl for being here tonight. Thank you. In many municipalities, BILD has been consulted during their service reviews on potential areas of improvement. And I think the consensus has been to keep our consumers and your future residents top of mind. We believe that all governments should focus on streamlining and expediting the approvals processes and review the government-imposed fees and charges that have become barriers to providing future homeowners with a full range of affordable housing options. This brings me to the theme of tonight's evening, rising to the challenge. We are ready. We are strong. We will face a number of challenges this year, but led by the immense strength and passion of each one of you and our strong BILD Board of Directors, we will come out ahead. This year, in 2012, we as an association and as an industry are going to rise to the challenge of celebrating our successes while advocating for our consumers. BILD represents 1,350 member companies, and in 2011, our industry delivered $22 billion in construction value into the GTA. This amount trickles down and translates into jobs, wages, tax revenue, consumer purchases, and much, much more. As many of you know, our industry is one of the largest employers in the GTA. Last year, we created over 165,000 jobs in the new home, construction, renovation, and related field industries. We work hard every day, and we are proud of what we produce. We need to remember to celebrate our successes, share those stories, and congratulate each other. I know it's tough as Canadians, but we need to start doing it. In doing that, we need to create awareness about our industry and shine a positive light on what we do each and every day. Creating that awareness helps our relationship with government so that we can have those conversations about housing affordability, building sustainable communities, and consumer protection. Now, on to our next challenge. This year, we are also going to rise to the challenge of educating the public about the industry's role and contribution to local economy. All of those jobs we created last year resulted in $8.6 billion in wages, which ripple out as purchases across the local economy and provide $2 billion in federal and provincial income tax revenues. In addition to these hard numbers, we also contribute to the health and prosperity of the local economies by building sustainable, well-planned, and well-designed communities where people want to live, work, and play. Now more than ever, we have a captive audience, and we have the tools. We have an opportunity to educate the public about the incredible impact our industry makes. And we will, using not only traditional media like our weekly newspaper columns, magazines, and radio, but also through our BILD social media feeds like our blog, Facebook, and Twitter. We have created some real momentum, thanks to the great work over the last 5 years to the brand of the BILD name. We want government to come to us and the media to come to us, and it's happening. It really is. We're getting calls to comment on policies and standards as they are being written, not after the fact. And we're getting calls from reporters to provide industry perspective on the issues that impact consumers. Our challenge this year will be to remain the go-to association for these types of proactive phone calls and continue to promote the recognizable brand of BILD as the voice of the industry. Our next challenge. In the coming year, we also are going to have to rise to the challenge of staying relevant as an association, both to consumers and, of course, to our membership. This is not a new challenge. Every year, we have to find a way to stay ahead of the curve. We have to advocate for fair and effective policies that impact building and development industry and its consumers. As our friend and leader, Stephen Dupuis, and I used to say, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. A key part of being at the table is building strong relationships with municipal decision makers and staying on top of any legislative changes coming down the pipe. If we stay on top of this, ahead of the curve, we will remain relevant. Staying relevant for our members specifically, we have to provide opportunities for networking, leadership, skills training, and information sharing. We have to be aware of what the association does well and what areas can be improved upon. We have to look at what makes a member join and what makes a member stay. Each of us define the value of a BILD membership differently. It might be that you find value in the advocacy efforts of GR, or maybe you find value in the networking opportunities provided through many of the annual events. One great example that comes to mind is last year's inaugural Ride for Humanity, in which it was a great success for many reasons. We listened to members and we tried something new. We organized a unique fundraiser for our community partner, Habitat for Humanity. And in the end, we had more than 120 cyclists and raised $25,000 towards the final donation of $80,000 in support of BILD's 8th Habitat Toronto sponsored home. Thank you, Habitat. This is a great example of how we are able to rise to the challenge of trying something new, keeping members interested, and giving back. I'm sure we can do it all again this year. As many of you know, BILD's partnership with Habitat was championed by Stephen Dupuis. He believed that this partnership was a natural fit, of course, given that both organizations are dedicated to affordable home ownership. With that in mind, BILD Board has created the Stephen Dupuis Community Building Award. This new award will be presented in April to a member company or individual committed to community building through exceptional charitable or community involvement. So this brings me to our final challenge. Most of you know that by now that the search for the new CEO has commenced with the help of executive firm Ogers Berndsen late last year. The BILD Board of Directors is aiming to complete this search by the end of March. As BILD goes through this transition period, we must rise to the challenge by staying strong, banding together, and continuing to work on behalf of the industry and on behalf of our consumers. Everyone in this room brings a particular skill set to the table, a specific expertise to share, which I believe is the true strength and behind the passion of this great industry. As we rise to the challenges that I've outlined tonight, over the course of the next year, I challenge each and one of you to get more involved and get engaged. Attend a chapter meeting, sit on a committee, put your name in as a speaker for one of our educational forums, or help fundraise for Habitat by attending a golf tournament or one of the other annual events. If you leave remembering nothing else this evening, remember that BILD is your association. BILD is your voice. And with your help, we will continue to partner with government to deliver a healthy, affordable housing market across the GTA. I look forward to a challenging 2012. Together, we will rise to these challenges, and together, we will celebrate our successes. Thank you, good night, and get home safe. Thanks.